I'm Cal, the host of Aligned, and I'm so excited you're here. Let me ask you this. Are you ready to stop following someone else's strategy and start building a business that aligns with your vision? As a 2-4 cycle generator and business coach, I know the power of aligning your actions with your unique design. On this podcast, we'll dive into business strategies, human design, and have conversations with awesome women who are doing business their own way. I'm here to show you how to build a business that gives you the life you truly desire. Let's get started and have some fun. Welcome to another episode of Aligned. I am your host, Cal, and I am recording this episode live from Bali. Now, I'm going to hope and pray that when I hit stop on this recording, that it actually uploads. I went to record an episode last week here in Bali, and the internet just did not play the game. I've been lucky enough to be on holidays with my family, my husband and my 2 girls here in Bali for the last 13 days. And last week was the first time I didn't launch an episode of Aligned since launching the podcast on the 18th of April this year. And I just had to fully surrender to the fact that it was out of my control. The internet definitely was not playing the game on the day of which I wanted to record. So I let it go. But today, all things are looking positive for this episode to upload, and it will be the final episode of Aligned with Cal Quarrell for 2024. It will be released a day late. It'll be coming out on Friday, the 20th of December. And tomorrow we actually fly from Bali to Perth to spend a week there with my sister and her family for Christmas, which from my calculations, we have not actually spent a Christmas with them for 12 years. So very, very excited to do that. But I did want to take this opportunity to come in and have a final episode for 2024 to one, thank you for listening to one or many or all of the episodes of Aligned with Cal Quarrell. They have been regular up until last week, but they have been very, varied in their content. And as you will have noticed, they have really started to lean into human design more and more, which I can tell you will be more of my focus again in 2025. But this being the last episode for 2024, I wanted to talk about an incredibly valuable free resource that I have been creating here in Bali, which is a 2025 planning journal. Now, by the time this episode is released, the journal will be available for free download. The details will all be in the show notes. But I also wanted to remind you that December may not necessarily be the best time for you to attempt to set aside time to do reflection and to set intentions for the new year. I totally understand that for a lot of people, December is really crazy and really hectic. There is Christmas shopping. There is often food shopping and food preparation for Christmas. There's often many additional social engagements, all whilst fun can sometimes be a little exhausting and a little overwhelming. And then, if you have children, you've probably been going to end of school assemblies and possible productions and all of the things. So I really wanted to put together a very valuable free download for you to be able to reflect, but also set intentions for 2025 when the time is right for you. I shared in my last podcast episode a couple of weeks ago that I feel like there is this additional pressure in December to be clear and to be focused on what the new year is going to bring. But often I myself have felt that it's just not the right time for me to feel like I'm in that energetic state of wanting to do deep reflection or to actually set clear intentions for 2025. So the 2025 planning journal is going to be available for you right up until the end of January. And I wanted to just alleviate any pressure or any stress for you that, yes, I absolutely believe it's imperative that you take time for self-reflection, for self-discovery, to be intentional with how it is that you want your life to look like at any moment in time, but certainly when we are entering a new, fresh calendar year, but not to have pressure to do it on someone else's time frame. If you're going to get to that once the kids go back to school in the beginning of February, that is absolutely perfect. If you know that, you're going to find moments of time throughout January whilst you might be taking a break or you might be having a little bit more downtime, then that is what the 2025 journal is for. It's something you can download. It is something that you can work through. You don't need to do it from start to finish all in the one sitting, but it's an opportunity for you to really connect in with yourself and look at what are the things that you've achieved in 2024, to honor yourself and look at what are the challenges that you've overcome in 2024, and then really think about how are you feeling energetically as you round out this year. Are you someone that feels like you're on hands and knees crawling to the end? And if you are, what are some things that you could change leading into 2025 so you may not feel like that next year? If you're feeling super accomplished and feeling clear and excited about the new year, why is that? And what is it that you can do more of to even kind of amplify that feeling? So for me, I think when we look at reflection, it's not necessarily just about, the goals that we've achieved, maybe the boxes that we've ticked. It's not about, all of the positives, but it's also about honoring what are the challenges that we've overcome and how do we actually feel within ourselves and our life. Do we feel like we are moving in a direction that is aligned with our biggest vision? And these are some things that we talk about inside Elevate and Align Mastermind. Elevate and Align Mastermind is a 3-month program with me where we look at how you can build a business in alignment with your values, vision, purpose, and priorities. And this is another thing that often we forget. Our priorities can change on a whim. They can change instantaneously. If you've got a child that is sick that will need more attention, that becomes your major priority. If you've got aging parents that need your time and need your assistance, that then changes your priorities. Even the priorities within your own business will change. And it's about taking moments wherever possible just to do a bit of an alignment check-in. Am I happy with the way things are going? Am I moving myself towards what I truly desire? And for me, 2024 has been an incredibly big year. I relaunched She Can with my best friend Shez back in, I think it was April of this year. We have since ran 2 Bali retreats called Adventure Week back to back in May. We have also had our first 2-day event back in Australia, and 2025 is set to be an incredibly big year for She Can, something that I am so excited about. I'm not going to actually talk too much about what is coming, but what I will say is there's going to be a big change visually when it comes to She Can and the brand and, the way that Shez and I are going to be showing up. We have a 2-day event happening in Bendigo in Victoria on the 1st and 2nd of February. We have our first new 4-day event happening in Yarrawonga in March, and then we are back here in Bali in May for our 2 adventure weeks back to back. So 2024 was absolutely incredible to relaunch She Can after what was a couple of year break. Just felt so aligned, so exciting, and we are just really pumped about what is to come for that. I also did my own complete full rebrand. I really stepped into bringing human design into my business coaching, which has been so fulfilling. It has really been what I believe is the missing piece of the puzzle. I know my strengths. I know that I look at things in a different way. And like when I look at my own human design chart, I really understand that now. But to be able to support women in business and align their business with their own unique human design and kind of hand them back their own power to understand their human design chart and to be able to trust in their decision-making process has been so rewarding and so fulfilling. And I need to give a special shout out to Kirsten Morrison, who I invested in as my mentor. I am also part of her By Design, which is her human design reader training. And honestly, 2024 has been just a massive year of growth for me. And also, if you've been here a little while, you will also know it has been an incredibly big shift visually with my brand. So that on top of, many things, we did a 10-day Ned's Uncomfortable Challenge, my husband and I, where we ran 4 kilometers a day every day for 10 days. Not a massive challenge when you think about it like that, but can I tell you that was all sorts of exhausting on top of everything else that we do as far as the gym, etc. I cannot even put into words, and I cannot even fathom what Ned went through when he was running. I think it was like 161 plus kilometers a day for 10 days. Absolutely mind-boggling. But yeah, it's been a really incredible year. And when you are reflecting on your own 2024, can I suggest that rather than just sitting with pen and paper in hand or just allowing your mind to wander back, that if you are someone that uses your mobile phone as a way to document things in your life, as in that you take photos, and I would imagine that if you're listening to this, the chances are you do it, because I don't believe there would be too many people in the Western world anyway that don't do it. But if you go all the way back through your photo gallery to the beginning of 2024 and remind yourself of the moments that you've had throughout this year. We ran a really great self-reflection masterclass inside our Happiness Hub, Shez and I, which is with She Can. And that was something we suggested, that you get your phone out and you go back and have a look at the moments, because I can assure you that life moves so quickly that you will forget many of the things that you have experienced / achieved this year. We've done that here in Bali. We've been doing some recreation of photos from when we were here back in 2018. It's absolutely mind-boggling to see the difference with our girls. Last time we were here, they were 9 and 7. They are now 15 and 13. And we've been doing lots of fun recreating of photos from our last visit 6 years ago. But it's just a really valuable thing to do, is to pull out your phone and go back through your photos, or go back through your Instagram archives if you're someone that shares stories, and just think about all of what has transpired across the year. Because as I said, I will guarantee you there will be things that you have done, there are things that you have achieved, there are things that you have overcome that you will not even consider or remember until you see a memory that sparks that for you. So if that's one thing that I can offer you, that is something that I would recommend that you do. And as I said, the 2025 planning journal will be available once this podcast has been launched. It is going to be available on my website. I will pop the link to that in the show notes. It will also be available if you head over to my website, kelquarrell.com.au, and click the announcement banner at the top. You will be able to download it from there. But I wanted to say a massive thank you that if you have listened to one episode, many episodes, or all of the episodes of Aligned with Kel Quarrell, I thank you so much for being here. If you are part of my online community and receive my not necessarily always weekly emails, thank you. If you are joining me over on Instagram or Facebook, I also thank you. 2025 is set to be a really incredible year. We've got multiple events planned with She Can, which I'm so excited about. I'm also launching the second intake of Elevate and Align Mastermind in February. I've made some changes to that, some improvements. I'm really excited to talk more of that. There's going to be now 2 tiers for Elevate and Align Mastermind, so you can choose the support that's going to work for you best. And who knows what else, multiple other launches, all leaning into human design. But for now, I wanted to say a massive thank you, a massive Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I will be back in early 2025 with a little podcast mini-series where I'm taking you through the pillars that we cover in Elevate and Align Mastermind, because I believe that would be super valuable for you to be able to take the learnings that I share from the podcast and start to apply them to your own business and life. But again, have a beautiful Christmas and New Year. I hope 2024 has been magnificent. And if it hasn't, I hope that you can find gratitude and excitement for the year ahead. And I look forward to being back in your ears in early 2025. That wraps up another episode of Aligned. I'm so grateful you've taken time out of your day to tune in. If today's episode sparked something in you, I'd love it if you would share it with someone else that could also benefit. And if you feel called, I would love it if you would leave a review. A review is like an icy cold glass of Prosecco. Always welcomed, always appreciated. And if we're not yet connected on socials, head over to @KelQuarrell on Instagram and say hello. I love nothing more than connecting with awesome women in business. Until next time, keep tapping into your design, taking bold, aligned action, and doing business your way.